Hey y'all, welcome back to Knitting in Our Jeans. I'm Liz.
I'm Carolyn. Did you miss us? I missed you all.
You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry, if you can still use Ravelry, as Tooliz for you, TOOLIZZFORYOU.
And I'm CPREDMOR on Ravelry. On Instagram, I'm doing Knitting in Our Jeans, and I posted yesterday. Yes.
You did?
We went racing yesterday, so I took a picture of my backpack.
It was Post-it notes.
with my life vest, my PFD, my life vest, which I wore. Not that I had any fear of falling overboard. The fellow who owns the boat that we were racing on, George, is very meticulous. And there's no way he's doing something that we're going to tip the boat so far that it's going to go over. For anybody who sails, you know that one way to judge how well your sails are set is the woolies. They actually use little pieces of yarn to flutter on either side of the sails. And if your woolies are streaming exactly back evenly, then you're doing quite well. Well, he watches those woolies like crazy. Now, there are a few other things you could watch on the boat, like the Windex, and make sure you're not over-pointing the boat. George watches the woolies. So if you're watching your woolies, you're not going to be all of a sudden tipped over 90 degrees. So it was really fun. It was really hot. I ended up with a heat headache by the time we got home. Today we didn't race, well, because George wasn't racing. We did go out to work on the boat. This is my working on the boat, or this is my sailing outfit, which is leggings and these light Gap tops. Not when I go racing with George, because George has named his boat Georgetown. Now, I don't know if Georgetown University's colors are orange.
I don't believe they are. I believe they're blue and gray.
But so somehow he has decided that Georgetown's colors are orange, and he gives you a shirt.
Isn't his favorite color orange?
I have no idea. I would hope so. So we've got these bright orange shirts to wear. They're not quite as light as this. He does not have a bimini on his boat. It's a lovely boat. Don't get me wrong. It's a lovely boat. Pretty quick, easy to work, but has no bimini. And it was 90, 91 in the shade. But of course, if you're racing, there is no shade. I did wear a hat. But for me, it's really not quite enough. So he did ask us to go racing next Sunday. It's supposed to be cloudy, which is good. So if it's cloudy, I think I'll go. Anyway. Yes, so summer has started.
Yay!
Yes. It's 90 plus today.
Yep.
So when we went to work on the boat, we put up our bimini. The Dodger was already up.
Wow.
The only thing we didn't put in was what I call the interstitial, which is a centerpiece that joins the Dodger with the bimini and makes a complete roof across. There was so much going on. We were trying to get things clean. It didn't seem important, and I ended up with a slight headache, but nothing terrible. So nothing like yesterday, which is
But we tend to get headaches just because the heat,
absolutely.
Being in even in being in the house.
I made sure that I brought 2 bottles of water and 2 iced teas, and I think I drank everything. So I was really working on remaining hydrated, which I think helped a great deal. And then, of course, there was additional shade. So, in the 2 weeks that we were gone, I have finished the entire left half of this.
It's gorgeous.
Let me get this out of the way. And it's funny how I can see the picture better when it's reflected on the screen than I do close up, because I'm looking at it block by block, and I'm really not looking at how it flows together. But I'm loving how it's flowing together. Now, what I have not done that I did on the other boats is these are out. This one's outlined and this one's outlined. This one has yet to be outlined because there's a little
bit of it left to do.
Bit left of the boat left to do. It's what's coded as question marks. And I am at the moment. There was brown that needed to go in right about there. I'm finishing up that brown where it goes over here, and then I will do the question marks, fill them in over here, and then I will back stitch an outline around the boat according to the directions. But it is moving along. You can see that I love doing this thing. The way I sit on the sofa is pathetic. You know, I sit sideways on the sofa, pull my legs up. It's a good thing you don't have much company. And I use my legs to prop this up while I work on it. I'm having a ball. So I got that much done. Show them what you did.
So I also have been working on my cross stitch project. It is still the Twerp Pierce stitch along. Still just the frame. Still just the inner color of the frame. But I have almost completed the entire bottom. I just need to finish doing the second half of the stitches over here. And then I think I will go across the top and do the bar that goes here, because this is the first block that's going to be released.
And when is that released?
I believe it's on the 16th.
Oh, okay, so today's the 6th.
Yeah,
so in 10
I think
days.
it's on the 16th.
You've
Yes.
got 10 days.
I have it in my calendar.
You have 10 days to do that much. That's
Yes.
a lot.
I think I can do it.
Good.
Yeah, I didn't do this much while I was actually away. I did pull it out, though, because I did put it on the little tiny square.
Ah.
And so I did actually get these two guys done
Oh, good.
on the planes.
Oh, nice.
So that worked out well. We're in the airport in the plane. And then I can't remember if I had shown you all that I had finished one of my cousin's socks.
I think
I had. So we have one sock, and we have gotten to the heel of the second sock.
Oh, nice. I really do like that color.
Yep.
Colors.
Yeah. So
very nice.
That is moving right along. It is my purse knitting and my meeting, knitting. But yeah, I was really, really impressed with myself
You were rocking it.
that I had gotten to the heel, and I hadn't even realized it.
Cool.
Yeah. So those are two major things. What else? That I have been, that were works in progress that I had worked on.
My onesie.
Oh my goodness.
Is moving along. Do you want to hand me that ruler? Okay, I think it's 8 1/4 inches.
You're at 4 1/2.
I'm at 4 1/2.
Nice.
So not bad. Not bad at all. So this is the onesie.
It's very cute.
I like it. I like it a lot. So I worked on that last night and today. I will be working on that some more. Oh, what is in here? Oh, that is
Cord.
That's what I took to charge my phone on the boat. But it didn't get charged. Oh, well. Okay. So.
Mystery solved.
Mystery solved there, yes.
So the other thing I started is a test knit that is for Majesta, who is in the Netherlands, and it's called the Boob window, and it's ribbed, so it will fit me, but I have done up to just under the armhole separation, so
stretch it out.
It will fit me. I just have it on smaller needles because it's hard to knit rib on bigger needle. Like, if the needles are longer needles, if they're for, like, what
regular
you
sweater.
think it's going, like, if it's on a regular sweater-sized project needle. So it will stretch.
Oh, yes,
yeah.
It will. Very nice.
Yeah, it's a 1x1 rib. It definitely will stretch. See, that's for my arm.
And how are your fingers feeling doing a 1x1?
Actually, not that bad, because it's on, I think I'm on 8. See, like, it's not even all that stretched on my arm.
No,
so, I'm doing cap sleeves, so these are bound off. And I'm going to do it probably to my high hip.
Okay.
But yeah, the test knit was mostly to get it to this point by middle of this past week, so I did that. I either cast it on...
I don't know that I've seen it.
No, I either cast it on Thursday or on Friday. I can't recall which day, because my flight was a little kerflooey.
It didn't take off on the right day.
No.
We had to go get her.
Which I thank
and
you for
then take her back to the
profusely.
airport 4 hours later, which
Thank
meant I got 3 hours of sleep.
I love you. You're the best mommy ever.
Which is probably why I caught a cold while she was gone.
You said you already had the cold when I left.
I don't think it was made better.
Okay, but you said you already had it.
Yeah, I think I caught it from Steve.
But yeah, so this is, I've been working on this. I've had a few times where all of a sudden my rib is not the right rib. Like all of a sudden I'm knitting the pearls
right.
purling the knits, and I'm like, what are we doing here?
Go back,
what
take
has
it
happened?
Out. Yes.
So that's always fun. My favorite is when I've done it for like part of the row, and then I've fixed it, and then I come back to it, and I'm like, what happened here?
Yes. It does happen.
Yeah, but that is essentially all I've worked on. I've been... This I worked on mostly while I was away. And
nice.
I've been reading a lot.
Yes, I was reading for a couple days while you were gone, too.
Yeah, I've been reading a lot. The new Netflix show from the Grishaverse. Is it called Shadow and Bone?
Yes.
Shadow and Bone came out, and I know it's based on a book series, and so I really wanted to read the book series first. So I did read and finish the first trilogy in the Grishaverse series. I then found out that some characters are from the second set, so I started that. I am going to probably start the Netflix show sometime soon, because I've heard very good things. I do like the second set better so far than the first. I'm only a third of the way through the first book of the second set, but I like it a lot better than the first so far. Okay. But from what I've heard, the TV show is... It fixes a lot of the issues people have with the books.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I've been reading that. I've gotten a lot of reading done this week. I'm very happy. I read a whole bunch of graphic novels.
4 or 5 books while you were gone. So
it's been great.
I had joined Kindle Unlimited.
Oh.
So for $9 a month, I can read as much as I want of their free books, and I find their Regency mysteries to be lovely.
Mm.
And then occasionally I'll pop for a paid-for book.
Mm.
But, yeah. So I got some mail this week.
Yes.
One thing I got were these pencils. Now, some people might not get excited over pencils, but these are not number 2s. These are number 1s with what looks to be like a very nice eraser. So that I can go through, and I'm someone who likes paper directions.
Mm-hmm.
So this way, I can go, let's see, here's the top here, and I can go through and I can very easily cross it out, and it's not making a hole in the direction. With the number 2 pencils, I was often poking through, and you can see where I'm getting divots in my directions. And I really don't want holes in my directions, because wherever there are these red lines is where I need to do
I think they're number
outline.
3s.
Well, it's supposed to be number 1s.
Well, they say number 1s,
It's a
3331 here, but everywhere else on the package they just say number 333.
It's a 1.
Yeah, on the pencils it's a 1.
Yes, it's a 1.
Interesting.
Yes. So they're soft, very soft pencils. And then I got a handy-dandy sharpener that holds all the scraps for when we're out on the boat, so that I won't be leaving little pieces of pencil all over the place. And I know that this is probably not rocket science to a lot of people, but I was really getting ticked off at poking holes in my directions. So now I won't have that happen. I have no idea why that won't open. And then we'll do an unboxing, because I got something from
Babs!
Miss Babs. I was looking at, I get monthly emails from Miss Babs.
Yes, we are signed up for her newsletter.
Her newsletter, right. And so they were talking about her linen yarn that I had hoped to find. What is this? Lace weight merino cashmere. That's nice, but not what I was looking for.
No, but it's the little sample they
Yes,
throw in every bag.
I thought they might have thrown a sample in of the
they might not have the samples of the linen yet.
And then, of course, there's also
the stitch marker.
The stitch marker that comes. Let's not hold it up and cover it. So there's a bead on it, right?
Yeah.
So there's always a sample, and there's always a stitch marker, which is really nice.
Yes.
And then, well, I went and looked at the linen, and she had 3 of these. It's like seafoam.
It's nice.
There were 3 of them. 3 of them. This is called Giant Sequoias. And it is 420 yards. So this is
cultivated silk and linen.
Yes, silk and linen.
Feels lovely.
And it's 65% silk, 35% bleached linen at 420. So this 1260 yards. And in my Ravelry queue, I think number 3 or 4 is a sweater called Symmetry, which has short sleeves and is kind of an A-line sweater, and it's got this almost like a pearl stripe that goes down on the diagonal. And that's what I had in mind for this. So once I finish my onesie, I think I will go on to this because the hot weather just makes me want to work on this. And it's a pattern I already own. So that is what came in the mail between the pencils, my sharpener,
nice.
and my yarn.
I got?
What did you get,
So
dear?
it's a gift from a friend.
Ooh.
So a few weeks ago, Lola Bean Yarn had an update, and it was a whole bunch of things, a whole bunch of skeins, and then this cross-stitch kit from the Witchy Stitcher, which is Zombine, Skeins, Lola Bean Larn Co., and it's Zombified Lola. And
oh my
I
goodness.
really...
And it was her birthday this week.
Yes! So happy
She's
birthday,
so
Lola.
cute. As her mother said, look at those chubby legs.
Well, I mean, she's amazing, and she had I think she had a Michael. No, that was from a few years ago. What you're referencing? This year it was Michael Jackson themed.
I wondered what the MJ was.
Michael Jackson.
Okay. I thought it was
so,
Spider-Man, like MJ.
No, it would have been actual Spider-Man if it were Spider-Man.
Okay.
So Lola Bean had these, and they went up on sale actually while I was driving home one day. I needed to get out of work. I wanted to get out of work early so I could be home for the update. Didn't end up that way, so I texted a friend saying, hey, if you happen to be able to get onto the Lola Bean website to get one of these, I'd really appreciate it. I'll pay you back for it. And she just went, okay. No response. And then I get home. They're already sold out. She hasn't said anything. I'm not going to say anything because, it was just an offhand, if you could get it, get it. And then I get a text message about 2 weeks ago. Hey, so the Lola Bean showed up.
That's great.
I'm sorry, what? So that, okay, was you actually went and bought it for me?
Excellent.
Okay. So I now have it, and I'm very excited to make it. And it's very exciting. I've been following the Witchy Stitcher for a little while. She makes really great designs. But I just really love the Zombie Lola. And the kit comes with everything. It comes with the pattern. It comes with fabric. It comes with a needle. And it comes with all the thread. And it's actually labeled with the color codes.
Yes.
So that's really nice.
Although I do find that the needles that you put me onto to be the best.
Yeah, the bohemians.
Yes.
Yeah, I really like those. So I'll probably use that. But it's always good to have a needle.
It's
always good to have a needle, especially when getting a kit.
That the embroidery floss gets tangled, so sometimes I need 3 or 4 needles to get in there and take apart the knot that appeared on the bottom.
And also a hoop came with it.
Wow.
So that was really lovely.
It is lovely.
And I'm just so happy that my friend, and I was like, okay, I'll pay for it. And she goes, no, you've had a rough time at work. Here you go. And I was like,
sweet.
That's very sweet of you.
Very sweet.
So that came in, and I'm very excited about it. I have a few other things that need to be stitched before this gets done, but I have a gazillion things about it. Wait
till I start the French one.
Oh, I know. I know. And I still have my black stitch project that I need to
For people that
catch
were
up
going
on.
to work on whips, I mean, I'm looking at that blanket thing over there
Yeah.
that's over a year old. But I won that. That doesn't really count.
Doesn't count.
Doesn't
no.
count. I won that. So it's not like I went to the store and bought it. But yes, we still have the whips to work on. But, you know, I figured the cross stitch is a whip also.
Yes.
Having been started, well, I think last August. So I'd like to get it done by August. So then taking new whips on the boat with me.
Yes.
So right now we're waiting for the inspection of the new boat, which will be July 6th. So right now we're going to be in Connecticut July 1st and 2nd. On July 3rd and 4th, we're going to be in Rhode Island. And on the 5th and 6th, we're going to be in Maine, where they will do the inspection of the boat. If that all goes well, then I think the closing is 2 weeks later, whereupon we will be renting a van to take from here up there, loaded with all our boat stuff that we have now offloaded from our boat. So your father had the radar reflector. It's this cutout ball made out of pieces of, it looks like aluminum. I'm not quite sure what reflects radar, but it's these pieces of metal that intersect and are round, and you're supposed to hang it from your mast so that they'll show up on people's radar. The new boat is supposed to have radar, so I would think that it would also be transmitting, but I'm not sure about that.
Dad is just going to cover all of his bases.
He's covering all the bases. He's taking all of our stuff off. So
I'm going to say, I'm going to have to make sure that I have my paddleboard vest.
Yes.
For some reason, that always ends up on the boat.
Yes.
I don't know.
I have not looked at the vest, so I haven't looked at my kayaking vest either. Because my usual life vest, if it gets wet, blows up into a Mae West. So that would not be good for kayaking because I always get wet when I'm kayaking. Some reason, the way I paddle, the water is either flicked back at myself or is running down the handle and then coming back at me. Which, let's face it, in the summer is refreshing. We like this. But that's not all that came in the mail.
I know. I'm very excited about this.
Look at this.
Pom Pom! Number 37, I believe.
Is. And we've already had a discussion between the two of us about this sweater.
I love it.
Now this is, I think, a gorgeous sweater. I'm trying to figure, are those cables or it's just lace?
I think it's cabled. It's
That's
knit
cabled.
side to side, so.
So it's really pretty. But what made me nervous when looking at this cover is it's loose under the girls. And I would, if this were tighter, right, close to her chest, it would be very much a summer top and would be great. For myself, I would be nervous wearing it this short because I would be sure that if I lifted my arms over my head, and some of you would say, well, when do you do that? It would be when I was wearing the sweater. That's exactly when it would happen. And all of a sudden, I'd be half undressed. Speaking of which, I wore a dress to the club today because there was a newcomer's lunch, and we were supposed to be meeting people. So I actually wore a dress. I had shorts on underneath of it, just because my chubby legs, end up with a heat rash. So, wore shorts underneath. That's fine. So we're getting ready to go out on boat, and I was saying, Richard, it's time to change my clothes because this is not really formal attire.
No.
And he goes, well, you could change here, you could change at the boat. I said, I am not getting on the boat off of the launch with a dress. And he goes, oh, I forgot you worry about more things than I do. I said, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, maybe you wouldn't have to worry about it.
It's also written for a longer version.
Yes, there is. And a longer version, I think, would be lovely.
I really love it. I think the styling is beautiful. I think the actual sweater is amazing.
I think it's fantastic.
This entire issue, I want to knit everything out of it.
Now
everything. So
that's just a top. I thought it was a dress.
No, it's a top, but I bet you could lengthen it.
I'm sure you could.
But I do think that this
Rayful?
the Rayful, as the Knitmores say, it's a bit more of aesthetic photography because it is a dark knit, dark rib knit in a dark color in darker lighting. Like, it's not lit so you can see the
I'm
actual
not sure you
rib.
can see, but it's really pretty.
It's gorgeous.
I like, for me...
It's a nice structured tank.
Yes. I would like to have little sleeves over here. The back doesn't bother me. The low front doesn't bother me, but
you just
for myself, I want a little sleeve.
This is essentially a crochet version. It's just as structural. It's also beautiful.
Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And again, I'm looking for sleeves. And so my quest will be to actually do these things and then make sleeves on them. So this is called Phoenix, F-E-N-I-X, and it is just gorgeous. Beautiful. Yes, it is. And then this is a takeoff on a similar type of structure. When I looked at it, I saw that these lines of
angular
reminded me of the two previous sweaters. This is called Lodestar.
It's beautiful as well.
It's absolutely
as I said,
gorgeous.
I want to make everything in this issue.
Here's the back, which again has those lines.
It's great
for you to look at.
It's great. It makes
really is nice.
And then this
is the Ardea. Or Ardea or Ardea. So and it really is a very pretty sweater. And it has those little sleeves like I like. But this is knit over the side. So these sleeves are sleeves that kind of
they're drop shoulders.
Yes.
They're so pretty.
Lovely sweater, as I said. I would hesitate.
You would probably make the longer version.
Of course I would make the longer version. I don't need to have anything untoward showing when I raise my... Speaking as a teacher for over 30 years and having had basketball players in my classes, I don't need anything about my clothing that's going to make people wonder, what's going to show now? Look at my face. So... that's my comment about that. It's based on 30 years plus of teaching. These are the Pick-a-day? Pick-a-day?
I don't know. Socks, which are so cute. So cute.
It's 3-color. And I think they're just wonderful. I believe they are top down.
That can be remedied.
Of course it can. It doesn't say at the moment, but I think they really are lovely. This is the Passerine, which is using stockinette stitch as well as garter to have garter
I like
sleeves.
The detail down at the I love this little detail here.
It's a stockinette stitch body with garter sleeves, and it looks really comfortable. Now, see, this is a longer version, and I would go longer than that. But at least for me, I can see how that would be comfortable. Then there's this. This is called Soulbird.
Awesome. Gorgeous.
Look at that lace.
It's gorgeous.
That's like wearing one of these lace shawls. It is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
We are always a big fan of Pom Pom's
yes, absolutely.
collections.
I mean, honestly, this is a length that I prefer just because then I know that my belly's not going to show. And I only worry about that because I'm going to get cold if it does. So it's not that I'm really worried about the, quote, look. It's just that if I'm wearing a sweater, I want it to cover me. I mean, let's face it, I wear long sleeves out on the boat. So.
I understand.
Yes. Then we have...
I buy SPF fabric or UPF fabric so I don't have to put as much sunscreen on.
Right. Exactly. This is a shawl, right?
Yes.
And it is 2-color. Yes.
It's very pretty. It's very simple. I love it. I love it in its simplicity.
You can see better here that it's a color block.
Yeah.
And it has both lace and garter.
Yeah.
As well as stockinette. It's called Avifauna or Avifana. Then this is a hoop. I believe that's a type of bird.
Oh.
Yes. I did not look up hoop. I've heard the name.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if the bird is a combination of these colors or not, but it does look like tons of fun. The pink body of the hoopoe, whose wings and tail are accented with black and white stripes. So apparently this is
Yes, that is a hoopoe
on the bird.
I love it.
Yes, it really is pretty. So yes, very nice. And then they have some
articles.
Yes. Adaptation navigation. Talking about birds. And then she's talking about one thing she loves about knitting is how it allows us to come together and exchange stories, much like if you have any hobby like sailing, etc., you could exchange stories.
Yeah.
And I believe that even in extreme circumstances, we can always find ways to be creative.
I think it's also talking about the
pandemic.
The pandemic.
Yes.
Getting through that.
Oh,
and then there's the sunglasses chain.
Yes.
Which is a cute little activity project.
Yes, 'tis. You can add all kinds of extra things. Now, I have one that's macrame that somebody made me, one of my students, about 30 years ago. And I used it yesterday at the race, so that was nice. I think that's about it.
That is all the patterns.
I
love everything in this one.
You really can't ask for better.
I mean, it's a really good one this week. This
this explains the Amalie fauna.
Yeah.
So it is color block, 2-color.
It's quite pretty.
Very pretty. Very, very pretty.
I love it all. It's so pretty.
So
I think, well, it's called Like a Bird, so I guess they might all be birds.
Well, avifauna is certainly like bird life.
Yeah, they're all about kind of birds. It's all of them are bird related.
Bird names.
Mm-hmm.
Want to be free as a bird. Now that we've got our shots, we're going to be free as a bird.
Yeah. So
there have been more things going on at the sailing club. Most people are vaccinated.
That's good.
I believe in the fall we will be going maskless if everybody's had their shots.
Oh, nice.
For the educational evenings, that kind of thing. People are greeting each other going, I was double vaxxed as of the end of January. You beat me. I was in March. And it's so funny that they're wanting to let you know that they've got, because we're having lunches. And so obviously you're taking your mask off while eating lunch. The mind boggles at how you would do it otherwise. And one of the fellows who sat next to me said, don't worry, I'm covered as of the end of January. He's a practicing physician, so yes, he was one of the people that got first dibs on the shots. Mm-hmm. It's really quite interesting that people are going up and greeting each other with the date of their last shot.
Yeah.
So that they could be... My allergies are acting up. Starting yesterday, I think.
Well,
because this morning when I was trying to read for church, I kept having problems with my throat. I didn't want people to think that I was having some other issues, but it's certainly...
Yeah, well, it's also allergies. Because we're outside more again.
We're outside more again, absolutely. Oh, and the other update about my hair. I was going to go and have it cut off, if you remember. I was going on and on about that. But we figured out that I can make a very tiny little ponytail.
Oh, very tiny little bit ponytail.
But it means that when I'm racing, it's not flying all over. So these two clips and the really ugly little ponytail.
It's a cute little puff.
Works out well. Today I had it in the clip back here because when it is this hot, getting it up off my neck is very helpful.
I'm so glad that I cut all my hair off.
Oh,
it's so great. I would be dying. I would be dying, y'all. I'm so happy.
Very happy.
I worked yesterday and I took off my hard hat in the office and I was like, I'm so glad I have short hair again. It was a lifesaver yesterday.
So getting prepared for our main
excursion
trip. Yes. I found out that Patagonia sells used clothes. Used coats. I bought a 3-in-1.
Good.
Yes. So instead of paying over $500 for this thing, I paid, well, I think it was priced for under $300.
Not bad.
And so it has a shell, and it's got 3 pieces. I figured that out. And it has a hood, which for me was important because then the shell has a hood so that I could be, and I bought the coat length, which is just above my knee. So if I'm driving the boat, I've got a hood over my head because the hard top, if you're at the helm, comes this way. It comes here and then covers the back of your head. So that this part is open to the weather, so you can peek out and see what's going on. It's really important. But you could be getting wet. So with a hood attached to my coat, it will keep me much drier.
Nice.
And because it's Maine,
you want to be
if you remember last weekend, it was 60 degrees around here.
I mean, so I hear.
Yes. So with the inner lining, which is down, it could also be warm. So,
and you'll pack all your woolens.
I'll pack some to actually work on. I'm going to be taking some with me. So we'll have space, which will be nice.
That will be nice.
Will be very nice. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
I think I did manage to buy finally something right in terms of the electronics and the cords and everything.
Oh, good.
I finally got a car charger that is USB regular and C.
Ah.
So now I can charge my watch and my iPad.
Nice.
Yeah. As well as anything else that has a USB in. So
good.
This is it's fraught with trying to get all the right connectors because my phone is different from my iPad. The iPad is
because you have a case on your phone.
No, the iPad is a C.
The iPad is a C?
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
Well, thank you. They have changed it from that to a C.
That's ridiculous.
The watch connector that I bought.
So it's this to this. Well, so if you have the connector for the iPad, you can stick this on it and plug it into your phone.
Yeah, but I wanted something that I could plug into a USB. So this is the problem. This is the wrong thing.
Okay.
I bought a number of wrong things. A number of them.
I'm just investigating over here.
Yes. Those things are wrong also.
Those are that to that. Okay. Yeah.
It's the same thing? No, it's backwards.
No, it's the charger for your phone to USB-C.
That's not as bad. So my brick will...
Yeah. No, your brick, it's... Also, I think you're not... So, it will take the charger for your brick, and it will stick into your iPad now.
Right.
Yes.
But I have a brick that...
needs to be charged.
Yes. And when it is charged, it goes in that end.
Yes.
And then the C will come out.
With this. Yes.
So that was right. Oh, good. These are correct. Excellent.
That's wild that your new iPad is a C. I didn't realize that.
As is the chargers for the iWatch.
Your charger is? Really?
If you ask now, if you go into the Apple Store and ask for an Apple Watch charger cord, it's a C on both ends. Oh, it's the pad, the magnetic pad, and a C, not a USB.
Weird.
Yes. So, anyway, so I now have a car charger that will take a USB
and a USB
or C.
Ah.
So at least I think I can charge just about everything. But I'm going to be very careful when I pack my chargers to make sure that I've got
all of your dongles.
A charger for each of the things I have, which is, I don't know if I'm bringing the computer, but it's certainly a watch, a phone, and an iPad. I'm very happy with my iPad because this one's been able to use the desktop version of Google Mail, Gmail, so that I can send things into the proper categories, because I use a lot of categories in order to organize my mail, which doesn't happen on my phone. My phone, I have to scroll through and then click, and it's like, I just want to type in the word, which is what happens on the desktop version.
Nice.
Yes, so that is nice. So I'm very happy with the iPad. Your father keeps talking about getting a new phone. I think before August, I want to get a new phone. Now, what's the phone company we have?
Verizon.
Thank you. I was
I was like, what are we getting hung up on? I need a category here,
I
man.
know. I was thinking that I'm dyslexic, so I knew it was a V, but it was Vespers that I was coming up with. So Verizon is now, quote, giving away phones because they lost a lot of business in the first quarter to AT&T.
Really?
It was giving away phones.
Wow.
So I think I'm going to check out the giving away phone thing and see about getting a new phone now rather than in September, because this one, the 12, still has a charger, which means it has a plug into the phone, which means I should be able to get an adapter for my headsets or a splitter so I can have my headsets and the charge for plane rides, or if I'm driving the boat.
Or we just get you wireless ones.
But then they have to be charged. And if I'm driving the boat, this is an all-electric boat. The fewer things I have to charge, the better.
Okay.
I think I have wireless earphones right here in the drawer over there, or in this bag. But the fewer things I have to charge, the less likely it is that I'll leave without the proper charger. And we do 4 hours on and 4 hours off. It's just easy for me to have the cord. I only have to worry about charging the phone rather than charging the earpieces too. You know, because I'm watching what's going on out there. I don't. And with the cordless,
the charging.
I'm also afraid that in driving the boat, I could lose one of these things rather easily. It's if they're on a cord.
Well, we can get you ones that are like around your neck on a cord.
Well, yes, if we can't get something else. But anyway, I may end up doing taking advantage of the
12.
The 12 that they have an offer out on, in order to still get the input into the phone. So, because we've done that before, where we had both. We used it to split the headset out and then get a charge. As I said, it's for on the boat, or if you're on a long plane ride. Things are going to become uncharged.
I mean, my headphones last me like 2 weeks, so I don't, or a week. Like mine last quite a while.
Oh, you're talking about the big thing.
My big headphones last quite a while.
I don't dare do that, because your father's always trying to talk to me while I'm doing this too. I managed to kiss the bimini today, so now there's lipstick on the bimini because he's yelling from below. And I'm trying to figure out what, and I'm struggling with this thing to try to bring it together by myself. It's heavy when it's... It is! And I'm trying to bring it together, so then I slipped, and I face planted into the bimini. I didn't tell him. But there's now...
So now you've told all of our viewers.
That's fine, but they're not going to tell him.
Okay.
There's now...
If you know my mother, don't tell him.
Sunscreen lipstick.
Oh, good.
Yeah. On the bimini. I don't care. He should have looked up to see what I was doing rather than just yelling for the ignition key, because he wanted to put it right then down where he puts things away. You know, he could have come up and helped me, but be that as it may. So, what can I tell you? Maybe no one will notice it until the boat sells. I swear to God. We've had this boat, how many, 5 years?
Thereabouts.
Yeah. First time I've slipped putting the bimini away.
You're so mad. You're so mad.
Yeah, my friend says, you can tell when I get mad, my eyes get big, my mouth gets small.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway. Anything else?
Oh, I just realized I do that too.
Do you?
I just was.
Yeah. Yes.
I think it's a holdover from Nan.
It must be.
Must be a Nan thing.
So, anything
I think
else
that's
new? I think
about
that's
it.
about it. We've turned the air conditioners on in the house. So we run with 3, 2 upstairs, 1 downstairs, which cools the entire 2,200 feet,
Nice.
2,200 feet of living space that we have, and it's pretty comfortable.
Yeah. I turned mine on for a weekend a few weekends ago. I didn't turn it on yet because I wasn't there yesterday, and I'm
you're here today.
here today, so it should cool
But
down
tomorrow-
a little bit. So we'll see.
Well, you'll see. I mean, your apartment tends to be hot.
My apartment tends to run hot, but I also run cold in general, so
It's a nice mix.
it is.
Yes.
It's a nice mix when it's just me.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
other people come over, I'm freezing.
Anyway, we suggest you get Pom Pom.
Yes.
It really is
Great
good.
summer pattern.
As was the knits last time.
Yes.
So,
I mean, I
some
think I'm
excellent.
probably going to
I'm
try and get everything
dying
done.
to start the
Symmetry?
Symmetry. I want to call it Symphony, so
Mm-hmm.
dyslexia strikes again. I really do want to start that. I think that would be great fun. And it's soft because it's got that
The
high
silk.
percentage of silk.
Yeah.
And I think that I can't wait to wear it. I really can't wait
I
to wear
can't
it.
wait for her to get more of it in stock so I can
Right.
get some.
My diet is not tootling along. I've been eating a lot of chips. So instead of having one holiday day, I've had usually 3. A
Oh.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which means it's not great. What I did do is I increased
Your move goal?
my move goal from 350 to 500 calories a day. So I'm hoping that that might help be a good counterbalance. I only did that 2 days ago, and I've managed to hit 500 each of those 2 days. It was Friday too. So Friday night I ended up walking around the house. I had 8 calories left to go. So I was walking living room, dining room, kitchen, living
Oh, you know
room,
what
dining
also
room,
works
kitchen.
is if you grab like light weights and you start doing
Lifts.
press ups and outs and up and out.
Well, yes, and I haven't done my arm exercises yet today, so I will be adding on to those calories. Our new boat does not have an anchor winch, or windlass, so I'm trying to do some arm improvement so that I'll be able to raise the anchor. I don't think we'll be actually using the anchor that much this season, and that way we'll be able to really ascertain what kind of anchor we want to put on this boat. The anchor that's on it is a very light anchor. We'll also be able to figure out where we put the anchor chain, because it's not just the anchor that's important for keeping the boat where it should be. It's also anchor chain and laying chain out on the floor, on the sea floor, that the boat moves and moves the chain so that it's not constantly pulling on the anchor. If you set your anchor and it's tense on your anchor line, almost any kind of additional stress on it will raise the anchor.
Yeah.
And so you really want to lay things out on the floor. When we were in...
We had that happen actually while we were on the boat in the lake this week.
Did
when
you?
I was down there. Because they have a clonker. They don't have
an anchor.
an anchor. They have they do have an anchor, but they have a clonker. And we weren't laying enough rope. Well, they don't have chain. They have rope because it's a lake. And
Right.
so of course they're like, "Oh, but you're the boater. You know how to lay." And I was like, "I don't know how to anchor this type of anchor. Like
I would have said 4 to 1. So however deep you were.
Yeah, but with chain, yeah, but with the rope, we didn't have the rope they have is not. They're not exactly boaters. They're working on it. It's fine.
Did you tell them chain would be better?
No,
Okay.
I'm letting them.
We don't have much chain on the new boat, so I'm sure we'll be getting more chain, and then we have to figure out where you store it. Usually there's an anchor locker, where when you draw the anchor back onto the boat, the chain cascades down into the anchor locker.
What I was saying was, we put it out, and then some boats went by really, really fast and caused wake, and popped us. And popped our anchor free.
Whoa. They didn't have enough excess out.
Well, in one of them, we were way too far out. It was, one of them we pulled up early because we knew it. But one of them, one of them was one of their friends coming by in a boat twice the size of their boat just to wave and say hi.
They needed to lay out a lot more line.
But they needed, yes. But,
because that way the boat will move.
Yeah.
And not disturb your anchor. And when you're in salt water, it will move the chain, but the anchor tends to just dig down deeper. And it does hold you in the right place. I mean, you have swing room, so you can go move this way, and it's called scope. And usually you want somewhere, at minimum 3 to 1. So however deep it is, you want 3 times 3.
That's what I was saying.
3 times as much rope or anchor chain out. Best is 5 to 1.
They don't have their rope mark.
Well, then you count.
Yes, you're talking way too complicated for the situation.
We learned how to anchor down in the St. Vincent, and the charter manager there said you start with 30 feet. And so it was 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, up to 10, and that would have been 30 feet let out because their anchor was not marked either. So we did that, and then you lay it down, and then you put the boat into reverse, and you shimmy it back until that line is taut. And then you lay out another 100 feet of line, so that you end up with 130 feet down on this seafloor that was maybe 15 feet from where, deep, maybe 20. It wasn't much more than that. And you were secure. And the reason that there's a couple of reasons why you do a lot of anchoring down the Caribbean. One, it's a sandy bottom. And so your anchor can dig down in, rock itself in and really grip really well. It's difficult to anchor on rock. Because it may bounce off, it may skitter, or even better, it gets caught, and you may have to cut your anchor loose. So rock is not great. Mud's not bad, except it's just dirty. But, so mud, some kind of sticky bottom, or sand really works best. And places that are not in the U.S., which is where we're used to sailing, and it may also apply to Europe, where they are often well monitored. But I have no personal experience. Generally, the moorings that are put out by the yacht clubs, by the towns, etc., are inspected, if not every year, then every other year. And so you can pretty much use a rented mooring with equanimity, knowing that it's going to be a 600-pound or an 800-pound anchor at the bottom that's been buried into the sand. It's a mushroom that goes down into the sand or the silt. And you're not going anywhere. But people who travel in the Caribbean, those moorings may not be well maintained. And there have been stories of people breaking loose where the mooring line itself has parted. And so quite often, people who are liveaboards will prefer to use their anchor because they know the state of the chain on their anchor. So just a little piece of information. I don't think we're going to be using our anchor that much this year because we're coming from Maine down to New York. There's tons of harbors, tons of marinas. Should be a lot of places where we can pick up a mooring. I'm not really concerned at all. So should be fun. We'll keep you posted. Anything else?
No. It's been a wild 2 weeks.
Yes, it has been.
But we should be able to, so speaking of your July plans, we still should be able to record over that weekend because we'll be together on the 1st.
That one, yes. Absolutely.
Or the 2nd. So we will figure that out.
We'll have to do it maybe on your iPad or something.
We'll figure it out.
We'll have iPads. Yes, we will have iPads. We won't have this computer big. We'll have iPads. And we can do that. I don't know what we're going to do over August, but we'll
figure it out.
Figure that one out. Apparently there's software that you can even do this. I have no idea.
We can
I
figure this
have no
out.
idea. I'm retired. I don't know
I
this
know.
kind of stuff. So anyway, so glad to be back. Can you tell the rambling on that we've been doing? It's time for us to weave
I
in
was
our
going to say, can you tell Mom missed y'all? Because
I
she's
missed
just
you
going
all
and going and
terribly.
going.
Missed you all
We-
terribly.
Why don't we weave in some ends, and we will talk to you all next week.
Absolutely.
Bye, y'all.